Welcome everybody, it's Denise DiGrigoli here on The Drive, live on the HN Network most Tuesdays. I'm so glad that we get to spend this time together. When you come here on The Drive, expect to move forward mindfully. We bring on people, places, ideas, and organizations that fuel our passions, maybe shift us in our comfort zone, shift us out of our comfort zone, help us reframe the way we look at life, and at the very least, always positive information that can move us forward. We always start the show off with something that we call a mindful minute. And today I wanted to talk to you about what happens when we're forced to make a change, a major adjustment, or we get a bad break or a disappointment, or sometimes even a betrayal. It's that kind of trouble, believe it or not, that can move us forward. It reminds me of a story of Steve Jobs. At 21, when he started Apple, passionately pursuing a vision. By 23, he was a perceived icon and success. And around the age of 30, he would probably say he got one of the biggest betrayals in his life. The board of directors, after he had launched the Macintosh, felt that maybe he was a little too hard on people. Sales were lagging, and he got a big sideswipe. He was fired. And at that point, you can imagine, he really didn't know what to do with themselves. You know, an iconic figure without a job. He thought about leaving Silicon Valley. He went from maybe being a politician to an astronaut, all types of things. And when the dust settled and he really had a little time to reflect and things calmed down, he decided to stick with what he loved but change it up a bit. He developed a company by the name of Next that had another visionary product, and eventually 2 years later, Apple bought that company back and brought Steve Jobs back. But he came back this time not only as a visionary, but what he called a better businessman. He had a little time for reflection. Now, I'm not suggesting in any way that any pain or disappointment or betrayal you're feeling today is undermined by that story. What I am suggesting is we're all in the winds of change at any given time in our life. I want us to look at it as the field of possibilities. My mother used to say, you know, the greatest invention, the mother of necessity is the greatest invention. And that is so true. So if you can stop and whatever you're going through today, take a few moments, maybe see the light, see the possibilities, see the opportunity, as hard as that may feel when I say those words, maybe that will move you forward. You know, it's always, you know, our greatest gifts are our greatest teachers, but at the time that they're happening, they feel absolutely not so great. And my favorite tool of reflection, of course, is my daily drive, where you can reflect, you can kind of steer your thoughts ultimately steer your choices and create the results you live. If you have any idea about what's going on in your life today, maybe think about your thoughts 3 to 5 years ago. So there's always possibility in the winds of change. It's all about our perception, and that becomes our reality. So we have an incredible change maker that's going to join us right after our commercial break. I think you're going to be very impressed with how she prevailed through some of her aha moments and what she's doing to move other people forward here in our community. Remember, it's the Daily Drive here on the HN Network every Tuesday. It's how you fuel your mind, your body, your spirit that creates the life you live. Fuel it well. Fuel it here on The Drive. We'll be right back.
Now teeing off, Paul Miller from Miller Nissan in Fairfield.
Excuse me, Mr. Miller. What about my new Sentra?
Right now, lease a 2017 Sentra S for only $97 a month.
He is never going to retire.
UK Gourmet is the largest specialty grocer in the area, featuring food from England, Ireland, Scotland, and Wales. Over 80 teas to choose from and a brilliant assortment of biscuits to go with them. Over 70 cheeses from grass-fed cows, which makes a smashing difference in taste. The creamiest chocolate you'll ever taste using no artificial colors or preservatives. So say hooray for UK Gourmet. 78 Stony Hill Road in Bethel, or visit ukgourmet.us.
At InSports Trumbull, the game is always on inside.
Registration is now open for our fitness training programs for high school athletes.
The InSports Performance Center is offering blast speed classes, athletic functional movement assessments, and both men's and women's elite speed and strength training. Our premier programs help bring athletes to the next level. Call 203-268-1214 for more information. Like and follow us on Facebook.
Manfredi New Canaan is celebrating 3 exceptional years selling Rolex watches and fine jewelry to the Fairfield County community. We appreciate all our loyal clients and look forward to welcoming and helping you discover the perfect gift to celebrate life's most important occasions. Bankwell combines the best personalized service with high-tech banking features for our customers' convenience. We pride ourselves on being a strong community partner. You don't settle for average in anything else you do. Why settle for an average bank? Don't just bank when you can bank well instead. Visit mybankwell.com for more.
When you take the time to make a pit stop here on the Daily Drive on the HN Network, you can expect to fuel your soul. It's how you shape your mind, your body, your spirit that creates the life you live. We bring on change makers, visionaries, regular Joes, celebrities, authors, all types of people, but they're people that are making change in today's society. And there's an incredible lady I want you to meet today, Pamela Lewis of Connect Us.
So nice
Thanks
to meet
so
you.
much.
Thank you for having me.
Executive Director of a new program that brings together urban and suburban neighbors to create greater outcomes for those focused in concentrated poverty
for
communities,
young
young people.
Absolutely.
And that's like, wow,
Yes.
we've got a lot to cover.
We do.
And I'm so glad that everybody's going to hear your story.
Thank you.
So you started a new organization, what, about a year or so ago?
Actually, we just launched it in August.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got my facts a little bit. Good thing you're on to give me a little boost there. And so, but before that, you were with an organization that you were with for several years.
Yes, 33 years.
33 years.
Yes.
Of the similar nature?
Yes.
Okay.
Focused on creating quality after-school programs for young people.
So this is a passion of yours.
Yes, it is.
Young people, their quality of life, and exercising their intellect.
Absolutely.
So take us back. We're going to get to Connect Us for sure.
Okay.
But take us back to when you were a young person. Where does this passion come from? Where does this fuel come from?
Well, you know, I went to the University of Kansas. I'm from the Midwest.
You don't look like Dorothy.
And you know, at the time it was the 80s. I was working in the anti-apartheid movement. I was learning, you know, more about the world.
Yeah.
And I came to New York City after, actually my father died when I was a senior in college.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And he died young. He was 62. And to me, that seemed like the worst thing that could ever happen to me in my life. And so I decided, well, I can go to New York. Let me just be brave and leave Kansas. And I landed in New York City in Harlem in 1984, right at the height of the crack epidemic.
Oh, gosh.
It was horrible. And I was working, and I started volunteering for this nonprofit that I was with for 33 years. They were just starting, and hip-hop was just starting. So believe it or not, I've been producing hip-hop talent shows for over 33 years. This gray-haired gal here. And you know, because I wanted to give kids a stage to make their statement about who they were.
Express themselves.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you know, at the time, people were relating to hip hop like it wasn't really music, it wasn't really an art form. So we said, you can have the stage, make your statement, we won't censor you. And I don't think you're obscene. I think poverty is obscene.
Right.
You know, so
poverty is obscene.
It is obscene. So we had a lot of fun. We took that program all over Brooklyn, Bed-Stuy, Brownsville, East New York, the South Bronx, Far Rockaway, Queens. Thousands and thousands of kids grew up in this program. It was very, very moving. And they had fun.
And they had fun.
Yes, and they had fun.
So you got to New York, and you were working in this company or this nonprofit for 33 years,
yes.
And then you were transitioned out. Talk about the change and the winds of change and a rock in the road.
Yeah, that was hard.
Yeah.
You know, as you were saying about Steve Jobs earlier, I felt very sideswiped by that. You know, it just happened actually in March of this year. Oh. And
wow, you are a change agent, and you're launched in August.
Yeah, and you know, the reality is that the work that I did and the organization, it was with the All Stars Project, a good organization. You know, that I feel very proud that I helped to build.
Absolutely, 33 years is no short numbers.
I hope to take it, you know, all over the country and including to Bridgeport, Connecticut.
Right.
And so I decided that when I was transitioned out and felt very sideswiped by that transition, I decided that I wasn't going to stop. That we had a lot of success in Bridgeport. You know, one of the programs that I do places kids in paid internships in the summer.
What made you say we decided we weren't going to stop? Like, where's the fuel there? Because there's so many of our listeners. What we want to do is if they're teetering on a project or they're teetering on a change, we want to know, where are you getting your fuel from? Is this in your DNA?
Well, you know, it's funny. Ironically, my mother died in 2015. And I think, you know, it's funny. You know, when my father dies, I come to New York. You know, after my mother dies, I start my own nonprofit. I think, you know, I think I was very inspired by my mom. You know,
so she was a great mentor.
Yeah, I watched her become a housewife and to become a professional woman. You know, I remember her coming home and her watching soap operas. And then my father he was diagnosed with diabetes. He said, you know, look, Dolores, to my mom, I think you might have to go to college because you might have to wind up taking care of the family.
Wow.
And that's exactly what happened. And I watched her grow and develop. And I watched her deal with a lot of tragedy, a lot of death in her life. My brother, her siblings, my dad, and I don't know. I wanted her to be proud of me. Sounds crazy, you know. I'm 56, but I still want my mom to be proud of me.
Well, no, that's a great mentor and teacher. I mean, who wouldn't want to live up to their, you know, to their wings?
And
certainly.
I know that she'd want me to keep going and keep creating.
Yeah.
You know,
creativity is
and a big
the
thing
zest of life.
Is when you have people that support you. So, you know, the donors and supporters I cultivated that live in Westport, that live in Greenwich, so many people really do care about what's going on for young people living in concentrated poverty. They don't really know what to do. They don't want to throw their money away. But I think so many people that supported the work that I was creating, and that we were creating it together along with the kids. That's why I love to connect us, because you're bringing people together who normally don't come together, and I think you can impact communities, and I think you can reinitiate development of young people.
What's the vision there, though? That's like that's not like making a milkshake down at McDonald's.
No.
That is some tall order.
It is.
Like, how are you taking urban and suburban, bringing them together as neighbors? Well, we know people aren't very neighborly right now, and so we need more of this. But what's the vision behind that? How do you get people to be really sincerely interested? I know the kids, it's one thing to get. I want to know about the people in our community. Like, what are you doing to get them interested?
Well, I think that one is, I tell the kids, I say, look, I want young people to be part of this who want to give. Because the kids say to me, well, what do I get? I say, nothing. It's all about what you're going to give. Because I think when you're giving, you grow. And I say to the potential donors, you know, they want to give, but I'm asking them not just to write me a check. I want their involvement. I want them to help mentor the kids.
It's not a handout. It's a hand in, a hand up.
And see, the thing about it is so many people want to give. There's so much talent. And there's so many skills that so many people have. A lot of people are empty nesters who live in Westport and Greenwich. Their kids have gone off to college, and they have so much they want to give other kids. I mean, I really think, you know, there's a lot of talk now about how disconnected we are, but some of that is, I don't know. I mean, I don't believe it.
Is that rhetoric? Is that rhetoric?
Some of it is, and some people are really upset who live in all kinds of communities because, you know, there's so much of progress and so much of production is being driven by technology. And we're right now in a big change in our world, and people are confused by it. They don't understand it, and there's not enough honesty, you know, about how certain jobs are just never coming back.
Right.
You know, no one's being honest about it. Yeah. You know, but I think that we're just in this is a very hard time for kids. I mean, I grew up at a time where we actually thought our country was going to deal with these issues of race and homelessness and all these things in the 60s. You don't really feel necessarily that there's an investment in it. But that means ordinary people have to deal with it.
Right.
But that's how it's going to get done anyway.
It's true.
You know, it's
like they say, America runs on small business. Exactly. It's the individuals that kind of move things forward.
And it's true. I mean, you know, we brought people together through integrating the schools.
Yeah.
And you know, and that wasn't.
Was that a success in your mind?
No, because most of the schools are not integrated now.
What happened?
Oh, goodness. I don't know. You could say that the 60s happened. You know, you could talk about white flight. You can talk about no tax bases. You know, all those kinds of things.
Yeah.
You know, the wealth gap.
Is there hope?
I think so. I really do. Because when I think about the kids.
Where do you find the hope? In the donors? In the kids?
Both.
In the people that you see on the street?
I think everybody wants to keep growing. Our kids want to grow. I mean, you know, truth be told, middle class and affluent people, they need to develop too. Our kids need to develop. I don't just say, oh, this is something for these poor kids who live in Bridgeport. Fairfield County needs to grow.
It's a pursuit of lifelong learning.
Everybody needs to grow. People want to be connected to the kids in Bridgeport. Not everybody does, but a lot of people do. And so I give them a way to come together. You know,
very interesting.
And business people, you know, I tell you, some of the business people that I'm partnering with, Mindy Blanco from Barnum Financial, you have Matt Barris from Mark Fisher Footwear. And
wow.
You know, you have these people who, you know, Richard L. from Serious Decisions, people were committing internships. You know, Mindy Blanco's going to take 4 internships this coming summer at her company. These are ordinary kids. We don't look at their grades. They go through a 14-week training, and then in the spring, and then they're placed in an internship in the summer for 6 weeks.
Is this training at your facility or while they're in school?
Well, the training is after school.
Yes.
And
so they have to be committed.
Yeah, they have to be committed. They come every week for 14 weeks, and we do workshops at businesses that partner with me all throughout Fairfield and New Haven counties.
Wow.
So the kids show up prepared to ask questions and engage, to learn about the economy, to learn about how the world works, and take chances and learning how to have conversation.
Wow.
It's wonderful. And part of what they're doing is learning how to perform in a professional setting. So with the talent show, you know, we have this...
I'm getting a commercial break. Hold on. With that kind of zest, everyone, you absolutely need to come back after the commercial, because if you can't sense her vision and fuel up from that, well, I don't know. Then I'm going to have to cancel the show. It's the Daily Drive here on the HN Network, Tuesdays live. Remember, it's how you fuel your mind, your body, your spirit that creates the life you live, and together we move it forward. We'll be right back with Pamela.
Have you ever thought about owning a motor coach or learning about what it's like to travel the open road in superior style and comfort? Then contact Dave's RV Center in Danbury, Connecticut. Offering the best quality Class A motorhomes from Newmar, travel trailers and fifth wheel lines from Surveyor, and a toy hauler line from Work and Play. Choose from Newmar's Gas Line, Baystar and Canyon Star, or from Newmar's Diesel Line, Ventana and Dutch Star. And with unparalleled service and maintenance, Dave's RV is committed to keeping you and your motor coach safely on the road and enjoying it to the fullest. Stop by their showroom, 2 Industrial Plaza Road, Danbury, Connecticut, or call 877-483-3866.
At Portofino Restaurant and Wine Bar in Bethel, fresh and simple food is our concept. Owned and operated by brothers Rocco and Louie, Portofino has a distinct and diverse food and drink menu. Open Tuesday through Sunday. Come join us for live local music on Tuesdays and Sundays, Wednesday nights for mouthwatering prime rib, and every Thursday night is ladies' night. Planning a party? All our catering menus are personalized to suit your event and your budget. Join us at the Dolan Plaza, 213 Greenwood Ave, Bethel, and call us at 203-797-8131. Like us on Facebook. Dr. Stephen Molinaro and Peter Healy of Family Practice Dentistry and Laser Dental Care have served Ridgefield for over 22 years. Experienced staff offer gentle drillless techniques, preventative care, and cosmetic procedures in a relaxed environment. Grateful for the community's trust and support through the years, new patients and their families are welcome. Call today.
At Art Play in Ridgefield, we encourage students at a young age to unleash their creativity. Art Play is about hands-on exploration of mixed media, acrylic, and collage for ages 4 to 12. Older kids welcome. Classes meet weekly at Jesse Lee Church, Main Street, Ridgefield. Find us on Facebook at Art Play at Jesse Lee. Whether you're looking for a great test prep program, tutoring to boost your grades, or a blast-off toward the college of your dreams, C2 Education is here to help. There is nothing one-size-fits-all about our programs. We offer customized tutoring and test prep for each student. Call us today at 203-423-3328.
We're talking with Pamela Lewis of Connect Us here in Bridgeport, a nonprofit that brings together urban and suburban community neighbors and helps the youth that are in concentrated poverty areas. But what I love about her and why she's a perfect guest for the drive is she's passionate about her vision. And she might have hit some bumps in the road and things that could have sideswiped her and she could have called it quits, but she's here today telling us about the success of her program, which is fascinating. It's fascinating.
Thank you.
So you've got these kids in concentrated poverty areas that you're bringing through your programs. So I want to get a sense of what the programs feel like.
Well, one, they're fun. They're a lot of fun. Kids need to have fun.
Wow, that's so true.
And I think you can learn and have fun.
Yeah.
And I you know, they're after school.
Right.
So one of the programs is called See You on Stage.
Oh,
And
okay.
so young people come and they audition, and everybody makes it. No one's turned away. You can sing every note off key, and you still get to be in the show.
Okay.
And that's for young people 5 to 25. So we have auditions, and then we have workshops, and then we have a show.
Yeah.
And we have a great partner in Bridgeport named Lawrence Queso, who's the executive director at the Klein Auditorium.
Favorite place to
Klein
go? The
Memorial
Klein
Auditorium,
Yeah.
yes. So the kids get to perform on this great stage.
Yeah,
And
it's
then-
fabulous
and
stage.
A fabulous stage and a great sound system.
Right.
And that meant so much to me as a kid. I mean, I'm a performer. You know, I'm an actress and a singer, and I remember being in my
hip hop producer when it wasn't the thing to do.
Yes.
Right?
Exactly.
Cool.
Exactly. So one of our programs is See You on Stage. We have another program called Youth Leadership Team. That meets every Tuesday. And the kids come, these kids take responsibility for producing all of Connectus events. But we look at TED Talks, we talk about DACA, we talk about Charlottesville. I'm sure we'll be talking about all that's going on in the country today, because we're meeting today. And the kids, you know, and they don't, I have opinions, they have opinions, but the point is to support them in sharing what they're thinking. A lot of times we don't ask kids, what are you thinking about?
Right.
And so they.
And what do you want to do about it?
Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. And so we're planning some things.
Okay.
You know, with our youth leadership team, some community actions and
How many
those kinds of
students are
things.
you serving right now, would you say?
Well, we just launched in August,
Yeah.
but I think that this year we'll serve, just this fall, actually, I think we'll serve a couple hundred kids.
Wow.
Yeah.
And you tell me about, I mean, you obviously have a great deal of energy. What do you do to keep that energy moving forward? Like, how do you feel yourself?
Well,
Like, what do you do to reflect, or, you know, what do you do to make you you?
Well, it's funny. I do try to stay attuned to what's going on in the country and in the world. You know, some people might say I watch too much news. I watch just enough. You know, I do try to listen to good music. You know, but I like learning from people. You know,
So
I like
you
learning.
like to be active all the time.
Yeah,
That's how
I
you-
like listening to hip hop artists. I like listening to scientists. I like listening to comedians. I learn from so many people. There's a lot of talented people.
Lifelong learner. I love it.
Exactly.
Me too. So what do you do to empower your kids? Because clearly some of these kids don't have a comfortable
Yeah.
lifestyle. Like when they're really, when you get them into the program, I mean, there's probably a certain amount of mentoring or coaching you have to
Sure.
do to get them.
Sure. I think one of the things that supports people being empowered is not being alienated. Like if you're growing up in Bridgeport, you could think that you're cursed by God and that's why you're poor, because you don't understand that there's a history to poverty.
Right.
You know, you don't understand that maybe the majority of people who are poor in this country are actually white people. And you don't understand that there's a reason that there's no tax base in Bridgeport. There used to be a lot of industry. A lot of people just don't know history.
Right.
And so you don't, it's
So
not a moral issue.
you empower them with knowledge.
Yes.
And that makes them
that
feel
supports
better.
well, you become less alienated.
Or
You
less angry.
And yeah, because if you're a cosmopolitan person,
Yes.
if you're developed socially and emotionally, and you can go anywhere in the world, regardless of whether you speak the language, that's my goal. Because there's so much the kids have to navigate, going to schools that could be so much better,
Yeah.
to say the least.
Yes.
But yet they get called lazy.
Why?
But I wouldn't want to go to some of the schools the kids go to.
Yeah, okay.
You know what I'm
I get
saying?
it,
You know
yes,
what I'm
yeah,
saying? But then they get blamed.
Yeah.
You know? So giving them some tools, saying, okay, well, let's just say you don't want to go to school. But what about being in the world based on what you want to create? So teaching them some of the core components of improv. You know, you get an offer, you create with it. I believe that we are performers. Our human species, we perform.
Right.
If you're in an earthquake in Szechuan Providence and you don't know what happened to your family, if you're in Puerto Rico now, the only way you're going to be able to go forward is to perform.
Right. And steer your thoughts.
Exactly.
Steer your energy.
So I'm teaching the
Steer
kids
your outcomes.
to how do you perform your life? How do you live your life improvisationally? Someone bumps into you in the street, you can go, yo man, what's your problem? Or you can say, hey, excuse me, my name is John.
Yeah.
That might be a lifelong friend. A lot of the kids get bad offers sometimes. Sometimes you have to learn how to create with S-H-I-T.
Right.
You know what I mean?
We say, don't shoot on me and I won't shoot on you. That's what we say on the drive.
But like sometimes you get good offers and those. And then how do you, because part of what I'm trying to do is develop the kids. And what does it mean to be developed? To recognize an opportunity and act on it. Some people can recognize an opportunity, but they can't act on it. Some people can't even recognize an opportunity. So that's
they
what
don't do it graciously.
Yeah.
Right.
And also, you know, just learning how to perform. Let's say you're in an argument with your best friend or someone you love. Why can't we say cut? I'm going to go out the door and I'll come again, and then we'll start over.
I'm going to use that at home.
Why not?
That is awesome,
Why
Pamela.
not? You know what I'm saying? Cut.
I know my family's listening, so I'm going to come out with the cut.
Let's just start over. I love you. Give me your hand. Let me give you a hug.
That's right.
You know, I love
right.
you. You know, or let me go take a walk, and then I'll come back and let's just start this over again.
Yeah. Reset.
Yeah,
Reset.
if we do that making movies, if we do that rehearsing a play, why can't we do that in real life?
What is the greatest trial or tribulation you had to overcome? Or have you not overcome it yet?
Well, I think that my mother's death was really hard for me. You know, she had congestive heart failure, and you know, she was in Sloan Kettering. I mean, she went out, you know, she went out slugging away. You know, she was trying to see if there was something that could have her live longer because she wanted to keep living. I think that was really difficult for me. You know, it's so funny, you go to the doctor and they go, how many parents are you still living? And you go, well, actually none. For so many years I said, well, my mom.
It's like when you fill out something online, you have to scroll down to find your age. You're like, oh my, this is not good.
You know, that happened May of 2015. So I think I'm still dealing with that.
Was there a silver lining in that experience?
Well, I think so.
Was there anything positive that moved you forward there?
Well, I think so, because I saw her live her life to the fullest. I saw her, she went out slugging away. And I think when I was sideswiped by what happened in my life, I said, you know, I want to be like my mom. You know, I want to keep creating my life.
It sounds like you're mentoring all of your students in the same way.
Yeah.
With such a role model example.
Yeah. She led a quality life, and she also was a very good friend. Like at her service, everyone thought that they were the most important person to her. It was so funny. People went around and it was clear that. I thought, oh my God, I want to live that way. I want to be that giving to my friends and people that I love.
I loved what you said earlier in the show where you said, I teach the kids to give.
That's right.
To give.
To give.
So I want to talk a little bit about your upcoming things.
Yes.
Should we start with the one that's this Thursday?
Exactly.
I don't know if you can catch that quickly. There's a little flyer about your audition in the Klein.
Yes, September 28th on Thursday.
Okay, so what are we doing then? It's at 4 p.m.
Yes. Kids are coming after school. They're showing up ages 5 to 25. They're singing, dancing, rapping, rhyming, playing the trumpet, whatever they want to do.
And you've put this out to the community so people know to come?
Yes.
Okay.
And
And can they find more about it on your website
Sure.
or at the Klein?
Sure.
Okay. And your website is?
ConnectUsCT.org.
ConnectUsCT.org. And so there's a small admission fee to try out.
That's right.
Right? And so for anybody that's listening, I don't know, students probably aren't listening now, but the Daily Drive is going to sponsor 10 of those people.
Okay.
Should they forget their money?
Okay.
It's a nominal.
It's $2.
It's $2, but
Yes.
we're gonna get this out on our social media, and hopefully somebody will know some kid and say, hey, go and try this on the Daily Drive.
And I want to make sure that the kids know, if you are listening, that you're going to be supported. It's not cutthroat. No one's going to test you.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to applaud you.
Right. And then the real show for this is
October 21st.
The 21st, which is a Saturday, right? Mm-hmm. And it's at the Klein again.
That's right.
Well, we love Lawrence.
Yes, I know, right?
Lawrence Queso, the Klein.
Absolutely.
Got it going on.
Absolutely.
And it's at 2:30 on a Saturday.
That's right.
Perfect to get downtown, have a coffee, and scoot on over there.
That's right.
And how many people do you think you'll actually have performing that day?
Well,
how long does it last?
Well, each act gets 3 minutes.
Yeah.
And I think we might probably, we'll have between 25 and 30 acts, I hope.
Is there a panel or no?
No, it's a show.
Just a show.
It's a show, and if you come out, you'll learn about all kinds of opportunities and all kinds of ways to get involved in Connect Us. But it's all about kids having fun. I mean, when I was growing up, there was choir and band and plays in school. A lot of the schools in Bridgeport don't have choir and band and these kinds of things. So this show is an opportunity for kids to come. They'll get medals. Their parents will be able to come and applaud them. You know, I mean, it's kind of like the old-fashioned Judy Garland and Andy Rooney. Let's put on a show. Grassroots show business.
That is exceptional. And then you have something called the Connect Us Academy.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, that's a program for young people 16 to 21.
Yeah.
It's 14 weeks. And young people will attend workshops in businesses throughout Fairfield County. They'll learn how to write a resume, interview for a job, public speaking. And if they graduate from the program, they'll be placed in a paid internship in the summer, making $12 an hour, working in a professional setting, a corporate setting, investment companies, law firms, those kinds of things. And these are for average kids. A lot of programs like this are just for the, quote, cream of the crop. We think all of our kids are the cream of the crop.
So everybody's welcome.
Yes.
Everybody can apply.
Yes, right.
Go to connectus.org and check that out. And finally, a really cool one in the start of the new year, Bridgeport Has a Dream.
Yes.
Tell us about that.
Well, all the kids who were in the October 21st show will be invited to be part of this, and many, many more. And I'm also going to reach out to kids in Westport and Greenwich, because we want this show to be very multiracial. The kids in Bridgeport will lead the way, but you can't do a show about Martin Luther King in 2017 and not have Black, Latino, and white and all kinds of people coming together.
Right.
Because that's who
all religions, all races.
And that's exactly, because that's what he was about.
Right.
And when he died, he was actually working on a Poor People's March on Washington to shed light on poverty for all people.
Right.
That's who he was. He was fighting for social and economic justice
Poverty
for all.
doesn't discriminate.
No, it surely does not.
No.
And so I want the kids to learn more about who this man was, besides just this famous speech he gave.
Right.
And, you know, he actually talked at the Klein on several occasions. So that's kind of nice.
Did he really?
Oh, yeah. He surely did.
See, we're learning all kinds of stuff here today. Who would have known that Martin Luther King was at the Klein?
But it's important. And also this year will be the 50th anniversary of his death.
Oh, okay. So there's all kinds of beautiful connections
absolutely.
there. Well, you know, I know it's too early maybe, but I'm going to ask the question anyway.
Sure.
Where's the vision going for Connect Us? Where are we going to see you next year and 5 years from now?
Well,
I know you have a lot of energy.
Well, I hope to get more businesses engaged. Yeah. Because I think there are a lot of business leaders who are concerned about what's happening in the country. And I want to get more kids engaged. Mm-hmm. I want to get more people who live throughout Fairfield County involved in figuring out how can we bring together Connecticut. It's kind of funny, the word connect is in Connecticut.
Right.
It's kind of corny, but you connect us.
It's
connect
us.
I
thought it was very cool, actually.
But I think that why shouldn't Fairfield County, why shouldn't Connecticut provide leadership to the country? You know, about how we can come together.
Right.
I see that. I'm thinking big. I think we can lead. And I'm saying that to our young people, and I'm saying that to our donors. Let's lead.
Right.
Let's not talk about how we wish things could be.
Sort of like, you know, how Massachusetts did certain things,
sure,
with certain programs.
Sure.
We can certainly do that here.
Absolutely.
And with change agents like you, unstoppable.
Well, thank you.
Unstoppable.
Thank you.
I hope that you'll join us next year, and you will bring on a student or two with a giant success story.
Absolutely.
And I hope everybody will join Pamela. Visit connectus.com. Go to the tryout this Thursday. If not, I'll see you at the party on the 21st of October at 2:30. It's Saturday. Check out her academy and follow Bridgeport Has a Dream. There's so much stuff going on here in Connecticut, and we're so thankful to our friends here at HN Network that allows us to bring this show and spend this time together every Tuesday. It's how you feel your mind, your body, your spirit that really creates the lifestyle you live. Share it, pay it forward, move someone else mindfully forward like our friend Pamela. Thanks so much for your time today.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
And I hope you'll come back.
Absolutely.
Okay, guys, that's a wrap. I'm so thankful again that you spent time with us. If you like it, share it, follow us on social media, and we'll see you next week.
All right.